Back everyone, welcome back to the Crank Gathers Season 4 Group Stage, Group B, Week number 2. Again, we just wrapped up our first series of the broadcast, our first best of 5 between Basilisk and Team Red, White, and Blue. And hey, yo, the Freedom Boys, Team Red, White, and Blue, they take down Basilisk 3-2 to claim the series. But now they're up against the best team in the league, or at least in my perspective, in my opinion, the best team in the league. They're up against Team CRHB. Oh boy, this is a team that has been constructed and pulled together for the purposes of this league. Who exactly is it and what does it stand for? Well, C is for Classic, R is for Solar. For those who don't know, Solar, he has a Korean nickname. The Korean fan base, they call him a rock. More often than not, just because sometimes his brain turns into a rock and he just apes it up. It's very fitting when it comes to Solar. H is Hero and B is Byum for Shin, He Byum for Shin. So Shin, that is also his initial, his name. So again, we do have our 4 players here for CRHB. That is going to be Solar, Hero, Shin, and Solar going up against Red, White, and Blue. Let's go. Let us go, as we are going to be hopping on over and catching up with our lineups here. So the lineups have been submitted, and for game 1, it's going to be Hero versus Blask. Hero, of course, playing SC2 Protoss, Blask playing StarCraft 1 Zerg. Meanwhile, we then have Shin versus Goblin, another ZVP, with the roles being reversed. Shin playing Brood War and Goblin playing SC2. We then have Classic versus uThermal in a PvT. Oh, again, that's going to be a big challenge for uThermal. uThermal did well in the Basilisk series, but he was going up against more inexperienced players. Classic is the best Protoss player in StarCraft Evolution, if not straight up the best Protoss in the world in StarCraft Evo. Sorry, it's not the best Protoss in the world. The best player in the world in StarCraft Evolution. True. Like Classic, he's arguably the best player. Then we have Solar up against Goblin in that final 4th match before a potential ace match. Let's go. Let us go. So, again, the opponents get harder and harder here for Team Red, White, and Blue. Let's jump into game 1 on Fear and Faith. Let's go. Let us go. So we are loading into game number 1. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Fear and Faith, we have the Brood War Zerg player. We have the StarCraft 1 Zerg representing Team Red, White, and Blue from the land of Croatia. It is Blask. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss for Team CRHB. What's the H in CRHB? It is Hero. Let's go. Just fixing up the play names. There we go. Here we go. We have our ZVP. We have our first game of the best of 5. And welcome to Fear and Faith. We do have close spawns. Close spawns. Hero does find Blask immediately. So close spawn locations. Blask also should be aware of the hero spawn. Yep, should be aware. Because of the fast scout and due to the fact that Blask knows that hero is not top left. With this, we're going to be opening up hatch first, and we'll see what Blask does bring to the table here. Again, we haven't really been seeing much of Blask's ZVP. I know that he's been devoting a lot more time to StarCraft Evolution. Ooh, nice surround on the probe. Okay. Does surround, does lock down that first worker, and nice pick off here out of Blask. But I do know that Blask has been devoting a lot of time to StarCraft Evolution as of late, but I haven't been able to cover many of his games. I know that I believe he was playing in the Ladder Invitational, maybe in SEL Masters, the most recent one as well. I'm a little bit uncertain as of that. Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to quite cover those matches, so I don't necessarily know the level of play that Blask is at the moment. We'll see how we can compare to Hero, who's the best Protoss in SC2. Oh boy. So there is no more difficult opponent than Hero. As for now, we're going to be opening up. For now, we do have our hatch gas pool into macro hatchery, nothing crazy out of Blast. Likewise, Hero going to be opening up as well, just standard openers all around. No crazy tech yet, no early gases, nothing of the sort. Nice to 007 in the chat. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Bearing in mind as well that we do have 3 series tonight in total, of course. 3 series, 3 matches. First one's in the books. We're here in Series 2. Oh, as we're going to be opening up with the faster Hydra Den. So from here, Blask can skip link speed. We can skip link speed. We just go 2-base Hydra into 2-base Lair into 2-base Lurker. Is kind of the setup that we're looking towards. Meanwhile, fast Twilight Council out of Hero. Ooh, a much more aggressive build here. Uh-oh. So here, opening up Twilight Council with this, we can go into early Blink, early Charge, early Glaives, pick your poison. Adept does confirm the Hydra tech here out of Blast, confirming that it's not going to be Spire. As I believe that's a full wall. Jesus. That's fully walled off. Adept's looking for a way in. And the full wall does complete. Yeah, it does complete. Meanwhile, there's that fast lair. That's going to be 310 lair timing. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, very fast lair. It's on the way. And eventually, Blask, once he builds up on 2 bases, he will break out by killing his own colony. Kill the colony. For fans, oh, let's go. Bienvenidos. Hope it's not too late. I think we're just now entering around like the 1 a.m.-ish time in Europe. 1 a.m., 2 a.m.-ish. Around then. So, hope you've been having a good week. Hope you enjoy your weekend as well. Hope you're taking care. So, again, we are setting up. Lair is about to finish. With the fast lair, we can go straight into Lurker Tech. Meanwhile, it's going to be... Oh, not Blink. My assumption was it was going to be a Blink-based opener. Early Charge out of Hero. Interesting choice. Going into early charge into a Stargate. Now, with early charge, this is going to be ideal against a Ling Hydra heavy composition, but against Lurkers, Zealots are going to have a bit of a harder time. The Oracle does poke in, gets a full scout, confirming the lack of Spire, confirming the early lair, and should be aware that Lurker Tech is coming. As Hydras are breaking out. Is this the final? No. This is the second series of the broadcast. There's still one more series after this. It's a Team League. Team League event. This is merely game 1. Game 1 of our best of 5. 3 a.m. Pappy. Hi. Take care, Pappy. Take care. As Blask does look to me in. The early charge is going to be able to get on top of some of these Hydras though. Yeah, 1, 2 Hydras going to be going down. Nice pickoffs. Catching a 3rd Hydra. Adept shade into the main base and is already getting a hand. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. Lurker Tech, they're not really coming into play. Boys are being pulled. Drone's going to be going down. And again, I wasn't really believing in this early Zealot timing. I wasn't sure that Zealots could actually break through, but they just walk in. We just walk into the bases. And Hydras are just getting picked off here. Heavy losses for Blask. Ay. Before we can really embrace the Lurker Tech, it's just all crumbling. It's all crumbling already. Catching out another Hydralisk. Yeah, another Hydra goes down. Oracle into the main. GG gets called. Hero overwhelms. And Hero takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played, Hero. He will take a lead for Team CRHB. Again, just hyper aggression out of here. I assume that Blast was going to be able to turtle up on 2 bases and then break out. He turtle up on 2 bases, he opened the front door, and then Zealous just flooded in. Zealous just flooded in the front door, was unable to really embrace the purpose of the build that Blast went for, which was 2-base Lurker. Never got there. Never did get there in the end. GG well played. Hero does kick things off with the lead for his team, and we'll see if CRHB continue that run. As the pressure is now on SHIN. The turns have now tabled here, so SHIN is coming up next as the player for Team CRHB. So Hero tags out, SHIN tags in. Meanwhile, Goblin also does rise to the challenge, whipping out SC2 Protoss. Let's go. Let us go. Blask, how drunk am I? Yeah, Blask, he came back. He was retired for a very, very long time. He came back like maybe 3 months ago. 3 months? Around 3 months ago, Blask came back. It was really cool to see. It was really cool. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Polypoid. We have the Brood War Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing team CRHB. He puts the B in CRHB. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Croatian Protoss player, the blue Protoss team, red, white, and blue. It is Goblin. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into game number 2 here. And again, we'll see if Goblin can start the comeback here for Team Red, White, and Blue. For now, I will say that the spawn locations do favor mid-game play. It is going to be cross spawns here on Polopoid. We have top left for Goblin, bottom right for SHIN. It is a 4-player spawn map. We do have long and cross spawns. This will allow for potentially some longer games, some longer mid to late game, potentially. It also means that if SHIN wanted to, the idea of going into muta play is there. Like, Spire into muta play is going to be a little bit more viable, a little bit safer to embrace, I should say. Is going to be a little bit safer. Let's go. So now SHIN just going for his own hatch gas pool, standard open out to SHIN, and likewise Goblin does find SHIN. SHIN, he scouts top right. He scouts top right with the first Overlord. He's going for the cross scout as well, so SHIN will eventually find Goblin. But again, so far all the openers are looking standard. The real question is, does SHIN go into Hydra Lurker or does he go into Spire? Where are we dropping? It's news to me, but I had a brain meltdown. I mean, it's only if you watch StarCraft Evolution. Again, Blask, he returned a couple of months ago only for SC Evo. He does not compete in StarCraft 2. So it's only if you've been keeping up with the SC Evo scene. Otherwise, Twilight Council here out of Goblin. Going Twilight Council as an opener here. We did see Hero excel with the early charge, but I'm still leaning towards Blink here from Goblin. Leaning towards Blink. Meanwhile, the lair has begun. We start the lair, we take our gases. So far, there's no Hydrogen. We have gone for the Evo chamber first on the low ground. It looks like mutas. I'm leaning towards muta play. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Never mind. I was leaning towards mutas, but there we go. It is going to be the Hydra Den. So we're going into Hydras. We're going into what looks to be a lurker-based composition. Meanwhile, once again, early charge here by Goblin. Still building up. Building ourselves up. So we're just going for everything, okay? So originally I thought it was going to be muta play because it was a late Hydrogen, but we are going Hydra, and then we go for a later Spire as well. So why not everything here, just throwing out all the tech from SHIN. Meanwhile, Goblin, he is likewise taking up in a much more standard direction. We're going to be opening charge, true, but following up by Archon and Storm. So Temple Archives in a Storm into Archon tech, so charge our Archon Storm out of Goblin. And so far, I believe the Hallucination might have seen the Spire. No, Hallucination failed to scout in the main. Ay, ay, ay. So Goblin is in the dark, is not aware. SHIN, he's now breaking out. It's breaking out from the contain. Muta production has begun. Did we even make any Hydras here? The answer is no. So I believe we still did get some Hydra upgrades. Yeah, Hydra upgrades were still invested into, but no Hydras yet. Going into the Mutas. Lings they sent to engage. No link speed yet. Yeah, no link speed. Lings get punished. Shin does pull away. Goblin going for ninja expansion. Let's go. Let's go for the ninja base. Storm was not resourced, so Goblin, he's committing here with Zealot Archon. So charge Archon out of Goblin. He might overwhelm all these. There's not enough Archons, only one. If we had 2-3 Archons, then sure, I could see this working. With only one Archon though, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be difficult. Goblin moves in. Mutas they get across the map. There's one defensive Archon. And there's a cancellation. And that was a cancel. Mutas into the main. More probes falling. Goblin is committed. There's a recall back home. Ooh, he does choose to recall actually. And that's going to be 9 workers going down, losing up to 10. 10, 11, 12. 12 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. 12 workers falling. Shin breaking out. And hindering the economy. Now, I don't see Shin breaking into the natural, though. In my mind, Shin has to wait for the third base to be taken. Which has been taken, it's just Shin doesn't know. It may not matter. It may not matter here. 19 pro kills. That's insane damage already here from the Mutas. Now going for the sentry. Doesn't quite pick it off. As they move in. Oof. Yeah, losing another 2 Mutalisks. Does lose another 2. Jesus, that's a lot of lings. And what's crazy behind this, Shin is not making additional Mutalisks. He's already done. He's already done with Muta production, switching into Lurker Tech. So Lurker Den is now, or Lurker Tech is now finishing up. Getting to 1-1, into 2-1 upgrades. And Goblin, he can't really maintain himself here. Not like this. Shin, fun fact, he's looking for bases, looking for expansions. This does not check top right. Scourge production has begun. A couple of Scourge. Keeping tabs on the main army. Again, I will say that this like heavy Archon force that Goblin is building up is superior to the army of Shin, for sure, until Lurkers kick in. Right? The Lurker Tech is what I'm concerned by, and here we go, Lurkers are morphing in. The Lunkers are coming. Goblin commits. Base trade? No. Goblin moving through the center. There is an observer with the main army. Yeah, we have the observer. At the same time, Lings they flood in. The wall's wide open. Yeah, the wall's not a wall. Lings they flood into the natural. They force a recall. Goblin recalls back home. 11 probes go down. Shin, I'm sure he's happy to trade. Happy to trade. They bust into the main base as well. Again, 11 probe kills, brutal damage. Oh, so we are setting up. Again, we have our line of lurkers. Goblin is forced into an all-in. Oh no. And he cannot push in, not into this field of lurkers, papi. Yay. Insane. It's an insane field of lurkers. Lings a backstab, they catch at the cyber core. Again, Goblin falling apart. Still East has top right. So Goblin tries to get it in. Once again, pushing into a siege. I mean, he has to, right? He has to push into a siege line at some point. Messy control here by SHIN. Yeah, a little bit messy. But does take down the observers, denies the vision, denies scouting. Top right has been scouted. Now SHIN knows. Now he knows, papi. I love the dynamic here as well. Like, we're making more Scourge. The purpose of the Scourge is to snipe the detection. Like, the observers. Kill the detection. And then Lurkers, they just survive. They just run away with it. Lings getting called out. Nice catch here by Goblin. Now, what's scary here is that SHIN, he hasn't really been droning too much here. So Goblin, especially with top right getting up and running, is getting away with a better economy, where he's at least recovering. Lings run into they run into Archons, they get shut down. Lings get thrown away here top side as well. SHIN throwing away a bunch of Zerglings, throwing them away. And Goblin, can he recover? Stargate into Skytoss. Storm has not begun. The issue here is I still don't see Goblin breaking any of these bases just because of the Lurker setup. Due to those Lurkers. Nice snap at the Archon. Goblin moves in. Does snipe the Scourge. Oh no! Okay, we gotta be careful with the spores. Gotta be careful. Meanwhile, Defiler production has begun. Getting into Dark Swarm. That'll be ideal here for the Lurkers. Is that kind of splitting? Yep. So kind of splitting on the way as well. And SHIN is overwhelming. SHIN is overwhelming. Moving further in. Finally punishing top right. Lurkers, they waddle in. Waddle into the mineral line. Oof. Yeah, spine shots going off. Goblin forced to respond. Forced to react. SHIN is just perfecting his army. Goblin is working on that as well. The problem here is that Goblin's army is very like mid-tier. It's very much so a mid-game army here of Charger, Archon, Storm. Whereas SHIN is kind of building up the anti-mid-game army. With Ultras, with Dark Swarm, Lurkers. SHIN is going to try to brute force this with the Dark Swarm, okay? It's still very messy though. Very messy. The Archon Volleys are still brutal when every link goes down. Like, this is not... Does land a plague at least, but yeah, that was a messy fight for SHIN. And does he get away? No, the Defilers, they get caught. Losing one, losing two. Yeah, again, this is not worth it. This was not worth it for SHIN. Losing all his Lings and losing all the Defilers as well. SHIN just having too much fun. Going for the Doom Drop. Back at home, getting speed. Making 6 more Defilers. Now, again, SHIN has been very wasteful over the past couple of minutes. If this continues, then, I mean, Goblin has a chance. Has a chance. Doom Drop into the main. Goblin catching out Lings. I believe does have a recall. Not to the main though. And not to the main base Lings. They will hit top right. Doom Drop into the main. There's that recall to the natural. Upgrade's gonna be denied though. Yeah, massive pickups here. Takes down the Force. Takes down the Temple Archives as well. Takes down the Robot. Takes down all the tech in the main. At the same time, we're pushing towards that third. And it's all flashing red. Nice Dark Swarm. Ultra breaks through. The Ultra. Oh my god. Yeah, barely does break through. And with that SHIN, he does break into that base, and Goblin just cannot keep up. He cannot sustain these losses. Not like this. Not like this, man. Oof. Headshot back into the main. Into the natural even. 52 probe kills. Third base goes down. Goblin down to a 2-base economy. Really 1 base. Ah, it's too much. It's too much, Bappy. It's too much. Ah, no. The plague landed on the stalkers. This is the final push here for Goblin. Final push. This is it. It all comes down to this. And we have more defilers ready. Defilers are ready. Army's moving in. Darkstorm to defend. Plague on the main army. Oof. And GG gets called. And SHIN will take a 2-0 lead for Team CRHB. GG. He will extend his lead here. I did see someone asking about Hero's match. Hero did win the first game. SHIN will win the second game as well. And now CRHB, they're up 2-0. They're on match points. They're on match point here. As we mentioned before, CRHB, they are arguably, I would say, the strongest team in the league. They are very experienced in StarCraft EVO. The all-star team has been brought together here. And up next, we have the best player in StarCraft Evolution. Classic. He steps into the ring for the next player for Team CRHB. Meanwhile, up against Classic is going to be uThermal. Oh boy. Now uThermal, he is the ace player for his team. That is true, but he's still up against the best player in all of StarCraft Evolution. So it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one here. But if anyone can begin the comeback, it is going to be uThermal. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to be loading into game number 3. Again, early when it comes to SHIN versus Goblin, unfortunately, because the cross spawns as well, like the early charge build, the early Archon push, it just took too long. It just took too long to really get going, to get across the map. In the end, we saw that SHIN was able to snowball out of control with his muta play, and then hard switch into lurkers, mass expand, take over the map, and just almost suffocate Goblin, as Goblin just could not build up his own economy, and in the end was overrun. But here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner. In the top right-hand corner here of Blackrock, we have the Brood War Terran player. We have the Blue Terran for Land of the Netherlands, representing team red, white, and blue. Can he bring it back? Can he bring it back and make a series out of this? It is uThermal. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the SC2 Protoss player, we have the red Protoss, we have the best Protoss in all of StarCraft Evolution. Representing Team CRHB, it is Classic. Let's go. Let us go and okay, the SCV is sent out across the map, and never mind. There is enough room back here to throw down a Rax. Are we daring enough to go for the proxy behind the mineral line in the natural? For now, CC first back at home. SCV, eBay block. Never mind. Okay, just going for the eBay block. So, greedy build here by uThermal, going for the block across the map. DC Classic attempting to punish, attempting to delay, attempting. Yes, Classic force take the unnatural natural. Force to expand elsewhere. Likewise, uThermal does confirm the location. Behind this, going for a 3x follow-up, 3x stim. So 3x is into the academy, into stim, into a very strong bio timing. And of course, Classic is fully aware. He's fully aware of what's coming his way. Now we'll see if Classic responds with a Twilight Council into Charge, Twilight Council into Blink, or into a Robo response as well. Instead, Robo into Colossus. There are different ways to approach this. There are different ways to defend. I see in the YouTube chat. Buonanotte. Amigos de Brasil, papi. Fala galera, papi. Fala galera. Good to see you. Again, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves as we do have our follow-up here. Again, the Academy's on the way. Going for the Academy, going for Stim. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice. uThermal also scouts. It is going to be the Twilight Council. Yeah, Twilight Council opener into Blink. I'm getting ahead of myself. Could be Blink, could still be Charge as well. Both are options, both are viable in their own way. Charge, I feel like, would be a stronger way to shut this down. But Blink would scale better into the mid game. So it depends on Classic's approach. Now going for the second gateway. There we go. Blink has begun. Getting into Blink. And not just Blink, he's going 4 gates. Ooh, so 4 gate Blink Stalker. So the purpose here is not just for Classic to defend. If that was the case, we'd only see 3 gateways. With a 4th gateway Classic, the goal here is to defend, shut down the stim timing, and then counterattack. Oh, uThermal being cheeky. Yo, we got the boys. The boys are hiding in the tall grass. Unfortunately, Classic does bypass the tall grass. Can we bait him in? Not quite. Yeah, Marines are coming from behind, coming in with the surround, and he gets 1. Yeah, nice stepping, and it will catch 1 Stalker. Whew. 1 Stalker goes down. Nice moves here by uThermal. Medic has arrived, and now it's go time. Stim is about to finish. Yeah, Stim is now done. uThermal, he commits, and he will... will almost catch a second Stalker. Sort of a pathing there from Classic. Racing back home. Batteries are on the way. Classic, he's going to try to knock down the front door. Hey, it looks like he will. Wow, he will knock it down in time. Does knock down the rocks. Delaying the timing, delaying the push. Thermal hiding in the tall grass. Rotates around. Classic's ready.
You want a piece of me, boy?
And uThermal's going for the mech transition. Yeah, double factory. Double factory behind this. I do like the idea of uThermal recognizing that he's taken too long. Like, he's taken too long, so if he keeps going, he'll lose everything. Oh, so he's playing it safe. Meanwhile, Classic does find him. Catching reinforcements, pushing it to tall grass is still going to be difficult. So uThermal, he commits. He commits. He's sending it. He's going for the mineral line. Yeah, he's going into the main. There is no third. Stims up the ramp. Has the high ground. Gets 1 Stalker. A nice movement here by uThermal. Very nice movement. Oh, despite that, the army's overstimmed. Marine's going to be going down, and Classic holds. Yeah, Classic, he does hold on. Oof. Cleans up all the Marines. Cleans up the medic as well. And in the end, what was the trade? I'm afraid to look here, but it was 18 Marines and 2 medics for 2 Stalkers. To get 4 Zealots, I suppose, but really only 2 Stalkers. Brutal losses here. Brutal trade for uThermal. Classic, he does trade well. Remember what we spoke about? 4 gate Blink is designed not just to defend, but to counterattack. So we have our Mass Stalker, we have our High Ground Vision as well. Back across the map. Siege mode is not done. No, we need Siege mode. 2 seconds. Yeah, Siege mode just barely finishing up. We have to Siege up in time. There it is. Does Siege. Stalkers, they do rotate in. They blink into the main base, and they avoid the tank. Yeah, they avoid the tank. They can trade with the Marines. Boys are being pulled. And uThermal will hold. Yeah, uThermal, he does hold on. Does make away. Classic pulls out. uThermal surviving. Behind this again, going to double armory. Again, making that mech transition happen. And uThermal, he would survive the 4 gates, but behind this, 3rd base. 3rd base now on the way. Charge, Storm, Gateway Explosion, Classic building up into the mid game. So is uThermal, but uThermal, he needs time to recover. Because of all this aggression, uThermal, he's forced to make tanks. He's forced into tank production, which means he has no presence on the map as he is delaying his Vulture switch. Actually, he's going by a tank, okay. Like, still is working towards eventual pure mech, but getting +1 attack. Moving out with the first wave of tanks, 5 tanks all the way. I do like this from uThermal. I feel like turtling up, you just fall further behind. Like, turtling up would not be the answer here against Classic. We're going to be as aggressive as possible. Storm is done. Oh. Ooh, massive storm. Oh, God, God, God. Heavy Marine goes down, takes the storms to the face. Crazy storms, Rappy. Thermal rotates down, tank will fall. GG. GG gets called, leads out the tanks, and Classic, he will claim the lead for Team CRHB. Who will claim the series, I should say, for the team. GG. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Classic, he will claim the series here for Team CRHB. As we mentioned, Classic, the best player in StarCraft Evolution, was going to be a hard one to bring down. uThermal, I do appreciate the dynamic play here that he brought to the table. He didn't just go for 3x stim, but he also was being very careful and very meticulous with his movements, making use of the tall grass. I do think that was really cool to see. He was able to catch a couple of stalkers at least, but unfortunately he did eventually decide to pull the trigger and commit up the ramp. Remember, the moment that he stimmed across the map up into the ramp, he lost the entire army. Then that triggered the counterattack. It did allow Classic to gain some momentum. We saw that it forced uThermal to push as well, and he got shut down. The storm was brutal, as storms completely annihilated the army, and with that, GG. GG well played. Classic does claim the series, but I will say that for this tournament, match 4 is still played. Even though CRHB will win the series, the 4th game will still be played nonetheless for score purposes, for point purposes, just to make sure there's no like minimal tiebreakers or minimal ties in the group stage, to make sure we get the most amount of points we can. Let's go. Let us go. 4K Blink 2010 vibes. I mean, 4K Blink is still a thing in modern StarCraft, like 4K Blink Stalker in TVP. Still very much so a thing. Has been for quite some time. There was a period where we saw it fall off a little bit, like in 2023, when infamously MaxFax, he was 4K, he was pulling a 4K Blink with 3K Blink, which was crazy. That was in the Gresvan map pool, if you remember. I want to say that was like end of 2024. So that's when we saw a little bit less 4K Blink and more 3K Blink, but then we saw 4K Blink once again in the last map pool. But regardless, we're now getting into our game 4. As a reminder, again, it is this series has a little bit less weight behind it, a little bit less weight, but regardless, points are still on the line. Let's go. As we're loading into Solar versus Goblin. uThermal lost so badly? Not at all. What? I would say uThermal performed better against Classic than Serral performed against uThermal. What are you talking about? As I mentioned, there was a dynamic back and forth there, which I appreciated, which was lacking from like the Raynor series or from the Serral series. But here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of match point, we have the Croatian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Red, White, and Blue. It is Goblin. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player, the Broodor Zerg. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be getting into match on, not quite, we're getting into match point, but not on match point. Shit, feels bad, man. If only, Pat, if only. 18 Marines to 2 Stalkers, yes, but are you ignoring the lead up to that? Like, that's kind of what we were praising about uThermal, is having that back and forth, having the movement, of course, to have that kind of like dynamic movement and play across the map. It was the eventual decision to push up into the main base, which did kind of cost uThermal the game. That is true. But it was the decision to move up. Up until that point, though, it was a little more dynamic. From here we are going to be settling into our game. Again, we do have our hatch pool opener here by Solar, going for a later gas geyser. And welcome to match point. Now, when it comes to match point, we do have a very short rush distance by ground. So as you can see here, it's very short, very direct from natural to natural. But we do have the high ground advantage here at the natural, so this is a pretty solid place to pull off a defense to maintain yourself in 2 bases. The third, though, is brutal. As you can see here, we have the linear third expansion, which has high ground right next to it. Imagine tanks, siege units, lurkers, colossus as well. We have seen many a player struggle to defend this third base due to the high ground. If you lose high ground control, like, you have to fight for the high ground. You have to fight for this area, for this location, otherwise you will lose your third. So it's a pretty intense map. It's a pretty intense map. As, oh, we're going for a Stargate opener. Okay, so Stargate opener out of Goblin. Goblin's name is, oh, my apologies. My apologies. uThermal does have a different ID in each server. So, my apologies. Should be fixed. I always forget about the name if we ever have to have a custom name. There we go. So players are going to be opening up. From here again, Stargate open out of Goblin. Meanwhile, it is going to be Fast Hydrogen out of Solar. Now, I didn't really get to speak about the players too much here, but Solar, he is one of the best Zerg players in StarCraft Evolution. I say one of the best. I think I would still play SHIN above Solar. I think I'd go probably SHIN and then Rogue and then Solar, or SHIN, Solar, Rogue. I haven't seen enough of Rogue to really have a more confident opinion about his place amongst the hierarchy of StarCraft Evo Zerg players, but it's up there. It's like top 3. Like Rogue, Solar, SHIN, they're the top 3 Zergs, and they're like interchangeable between themselves. For the most part, I still think SHIN is like above the other 2. But all very, very strong players. This is why I opened this series up talking about how this team, CRHB, is a crazy team. Like Hero, Classic, and SHIN and Solar, like aye. It's a hefty team, but they got the best of the best. Meanwhile, the Oracle is coming from behind, catching out 1, 2, 3, 4 drones. Ooh. Nice damage so far. 4 or 5 drones going down, punching like a spore. 6, 7. Oh my god. 7 drone kills. Very nice start for Goblin. Again, Solar, he skipped his Spore Crawler and he gets punished for it. Hydra's out of position from the Adept. And with that, Goblin does start things off with a lead. Let's go. Does start things off with a lead here. Behind this, we're going for the switch into Forge, into Twilight Council. From here, we can go into early charge timing or into Blink. So again, we'll see how Goblin does follow up into the mid game, whether he's more active and aggressive or a little bit more passive here. Based on the Stalker Warpins, it looks like Blink, making that assumption, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Solar rushing into 2-base Lurker. So 2-base Lurker out of Solar. Again, Solar, he was forced to make the Spore Crawler here at the natural. You can see that there's no Spore Colony in the main base. Solar's cutting corners. Like, he's intentionally trying to get away with skipping spores, but he did get punished for it, at least at the natural. He's trying to get away with it in the main. That's why we have our Hydras in position. This time they're more ready. Oh, and meanwhile, it is not going to be Blink. We're going into Charge. Okay. So Charge is on the way. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they poke in. They get another 5 workers. Oh, gotta be careful. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, 9 drones going to be going down. Again, Solar having a very hard time keeping up. Mentioned earlier that now we... and Solar, he admits, he's like, you know what? I probably need a Spore. So Spores being made in the main base. Again, these Spores were late. They were delayed, intentionally so, and it wasn't quite worth it for Solar. So he got punished quite hard. 16 drone kills. Ay. So much economic damage being dealt, and Solar, he's committing across the map, but Lurker tech is almost ready. And Solar, he does not expand. No third base. We're going bam for one big Lurker all in. Show us the Lurkers. Here they come. Here we go. A very crisp Lurker timing. We have 6 Lurkers morphing in. 7 Lurkers morphing in. 8 Lurkers morphing in total. It's all or nothing. Now, thankfully for Goblin, he does have the Oracle. He has Revelations. Revelation is available. That's one way to deal with this. But he just revealed the Zerglings in the center, and now here come the Lurkers. 8 Lurkers moving in. It's all or nothing with Solar. There's the first Revelation. Does burrow, but the Revelation may not matter. Yeah, there are so many Lurkers. Mastery Shot's going to be going off. The Oracles, they will get some free damage, though. Yeah, free damage on Lurkers, getting 1, 2, 3. These Oracles have been the MVP this entire game. These are... Oh my, he kills everything. Goblin. Este Goblin. The Oracles, the MVPs, cleans up every single Lurker. And that's it. This was the whole point of the build. Was for a big 8 Lurker, 2-base all in, and it gets shut down completely. Completely shut down. And Solar, he has nothing left. Now forced to expand. Such a late expansion here for Solar. Ay. It's so late. It's so delayed. Goblin, higher worker count, faster third base, stronger economy. Goblin is in a much better position. And Solar, is he turning into a rock? Is he? Oh no. For those that weren't here for the beginning, the team name is CRHB. C is Classic, H is Hero, B is Shin. That's Shin. The R stands for Solar, because the Korean scene, they've given Solar the nickname Rock because sometimes his brain turns off and he turns into a rock back. And feels like we saw a little bit of that here, as Solar is struggling. He is struggling. Archons are moving in. We have a revelation of the lurkers. Again, it was just really rough early game. I should emphasize that the build itself is not bad at all, but because Solar lost 16 drones leading into the all-in, what do you expect? Like, it was just a brutal start to the all-in to lose 16 workers and lead up. Meanwhile, here we go. The lurkers, they get caught out one after the other. The oracles, they dive on the hydras. Yeah, they dive on in. They get two hydras. There's 2 hydras left. This third base will fall. Solar cannot expand. He cannot expand. Cannot get a third. And Goblin, he's popping up for his team. Red, white, and blue. Bad. True. Yeah, he's going to pop off. He's going to step forward, catching up more of the hydras as well. Catching up more hydras. Picking up Solar. More zealots floating across the map. And again, breaking this 2-base setup is going to be difficult for Goblin, but he doesn't need to. He's getting a 4th. He's getting a 4th base. Robo's on the way. If he wanted to, he could even just go for a Stargate. Like a second Stargate, Fleet Beacon, and work towards a mothership. And work towards carriers. Goblin, he can kind of do whatever he wants. Catching more hydras. 1, 2, almost 3. 2 more hydras going down. Oh. Yeah, the trade point working against Solar here. Trying to break out. That is a lot of hydras, to be fair. It's a lot of hydras. Oof. Solar steps in. Some heavy Archon shots on the hydras. Oh my god, so many hydras go down to the Archons. The Archons, they move their way through. There are some lurkers behind this. The lurkers, they help defend. Lurkers, they hold on. But Solar now down to less than half the supply. And there it is. There's that Fleet Beacon. Fleet Beacon's on the way. And Goblin moving in, catching out the lurker, catching all the hydras. Goblin might be cleaned up here, but again, he's trading very efficiently. Very, very efficiently. So, catching out another lurker. Zealot reinforcements come in, collapsing on the hydras. Goblin is being sent forward, once again cleaning up even more hydras. Again, heavy losses for Solar. He cannot build up. Ooh, jeez. Lurker X is insanely tough. They're crazy. Lurkers themselves, less so. Less so. GG. GG gets called, and Goblin, he does fight back. He does put a point on the board for team red, white, and blue. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, Goblin, he does fight back, does put a point on the board. Unfortunately, CRHB will still claim the win here, but a very impressive showing here by Goblin, just pulling Solar apart early on. Winding it back, remember, Solar, he was building up into a 2-base all-in, into a very strong lurker timing. But in the lead up to that all-in, he lost 16 drones. As we tried to emphasize at the time, it was intentional, like not losing the workers, but Solar, he intentionally skipped his spores because he opened Hydra. So the hope there, the goal, was to defend against the oracles with only Hydras and to get away with cutting corners, being efficient, and get away with skipping out on those spore colonies. In the end, it was not worth it. In the end, he failed to do so. In the end, the oracles, they tore Solar apart, killing 16 drones, insane damage. Eventually, Solar, he admitted that he had to get spore colonies. By then, the damage had been done. He still committed to the 2-base all-in, but it was a weakened all-in because of that early game damage. GG. GG, well played. Goblin shut him down. Whew. And with that, that leads us into our final results. Locked in here for the series. Hero took down Blask initially in game 1. We had SHIN take down Goblin initially in game number 2. And Classic took down uThermal in game number 3. So it was a strong 3-0 start to the series. And then Goblin fighting back and again earning some respect here from Solar in that final game. In the end, a 3-1 score in favor of CRHB. GG. GG, well played. With that, that leads us into our third and final series of the broadcast and of Group B. One series left here tonight. It's going to be a best of 5 between Basilisk and Team Liquid. Meanwhile, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Baby Links. Thanks so much for gifting a sub to Kaiser Micah in the chat. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Oh my god. Used to the muscles. True. True. Oh no. But thank you so much for the gift of sub. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. I'm sure Kaiser Micah does appreciate it as well. As we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, again, Basilisk versus Team Liquid. And as a bit of a teaser for the opening match, Cyril versus Clem. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon.